Hey y'all, welcome to What's Fucking with Paula Dean today. I'm so sorry to say this is Paula calling from What's Fucking with Paula Dean this week. I didn't know if Terry...
How are you?
I'm great, honey. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
48 minutes of dogs barking, 48 minutes of dogs barking, 48 minutes of dogs barking, 48 minutes of dogs barking. Growl. Growl. 48 minutes of dogs barking, 48 minutes of dogs barking.
Jesus Christ, we're doing another one. We're doing another one. Oh God, we're doing this again.
God damn it.
God damn it. Haven't you people had enough? There's porno and penises all over on the internet, and people have terrible things to say about whether or not is the Super Bowl woke now. I don't fucking know. Is it?
No.
You tell me. Because what is woke?
Who knows?
Is it DeRay? Is it DeRay McKesson? Is it DeRay McKesson taking a knee at the 50-yard line and opening up a clamshell, and inside the clamshell is
a single onion ring?
a single onion. It's the woke onion ring. It's Super Bowl 62 woke onion ring presented by
Raytheon.
Raytheon. Oh, it's the gay pride onion ring. Dre McKesson's got the gay pride onion ring. Instead of flipping a coin, it's a cock ring.
Yeah.
The referees all look like Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
And every time, no matter what the play is, it's the Ruth Conda Forever arms crossed.
Instead of going to Disneyland, they're going to Berkeley College of Music to
Oh.
learn jazz piano. To play at some bar called like the River Styx.
But it's spelled wrong. It's STICKS.
Oh,
Hey, welcome to the show.
It's
Oh,
48
boy.
minutes of dogs barking. We are the sons of the hogs you could not crank. I am Brian. This is Jason.
Howdy.
We're here to look at the same shit you probably already saw on the internet, but now it's two guys you kind of don't know going like, well, how about that? And then the other guy going like, huh, seems kind of weird.
Seems kind of weird.
We haven't even gotten to
Oh, yeah.
gifts.
There's gifts?
There's gifts from the great land of Louisville, a place I like more than St. Louis. And
Oh.
I've only ever probably spent, I think I've only ever spent maybe like 50 hours of my life in Louisville.
Really?
I think I like it more in St. Louis.
It's a nice place.
It is really nice. It's a fucking pain in the ass to drive. It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's like imagine a town with like no one in it, but
Yeah.
somehow it's worse to drive than Chicago.
Yeah, that's baffling. Isn't
Like
it?
it's one of those things where like, listen here, we're a little bit on that Southern time, and we ain't got the municipal funds
They're
to
pulling up.
time our light signals correctly in an efficient manner for the flow of traffic. You just kind of gotta do one of them big time Chicago left turns on a light if you want to get through the intersection. Else you're gonna be there all day, Mon Cherie. You really do. Like they're
Suspenders and the whole bit. Yeah.
oh,
yeah.
no, the suspenders just eating raw, hard corn. Their teeth are used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to like keep telling my, you just gotta get your ass in. You're never gonna make this left turn unless you just put your ass in the intersection like
Yeah.
you're driving through Chicago.
Oh,
And she's
yeah.
like, why? There's like no one here. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's
That's
like
kind of the point. Yeah.
It's the point.
I was thinking like Dallas. That's the only other place where you
Yeah,
got to drive
fuck
that
Dallas.
aggressive. Yeah.
No, yeah. You know what? If I lived in Dallas, I the president too.
Hey.
It's all, that's another fucking hellscape.
Yeah. What do you got here? What's good?
It's not ticking.
Yeah. Generally a good sign. Okay. There's a can here that says beer for humans, easy hop ale. The beer, bright, crisp, and easy to like. Well, every beer is. The humans make the world go round. BFH. Helps humans
Beer
and
for
brews.
Humans from
Beer for humans.
Rheingeist Brewery in
Cincinnati,
Cincinnati,
Ohio.
Ohio. Apparently not a lot of brew pubs or anything like that in Louisville like there is in St. Louis. But here's something I think the lady of the house might enjoy.
Monin Beer Company is a milk stout. Okay, yes. This is
So I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah, His Dark Materials from the book series.
The place we went to, because we had such little time, we were only there for not even 24 hours. The one liquor store we went to that had like good reviews on like Reddit and shit. A lot of really fucking expensive beer, like a lot of expensive booze, which I expected. Like a lot of like high end whiskeys and so on, and high end other spirits. But like looking through their beer selection, I'm going to tell you something. I like you, Jason, but I'm not going to spend like $22 on a 4-pack. The most I will ever spend on beer is about $15.
Yeah, 15 is like a set limit, if you ask me. Like just as far as
like it's got to sound real fucking tempting. It can't be something where I'm like, that sounds okay. It's got to be one of those things where like, oh, this stirs something in my soul. Now we're doing cold cans. Live on the mic.
Oh, that is nice. Beer for Humans, Easy Hop Ale. I can see how this one, you bring these on a float trip and you'd be good to go. Oh
god damn, the fucking the motor patrol, the water patrol's gonna be asking for one too.
You got one of them doing the little head nod like
he's pulling up the sunglass lenses.
Yeah.
They're clipped to his normal glasses, being like, let me get one of them.
I'm gonna look the other way if you throw me one. Yeah, sure, man. Yeah. Definitely feels like a summer.
God damn. Mm-hmm. That is neglecting your responsibilities kind of beer right there. Like, you know, I'll do that tomorrow.
Taste.
And you know you ain't gonna do it tomorrow.
No, God, no.
You ain't.
Who you kidding with this?
I ain't helping you kids with your goddamn science project.
I'm not going to my mom's house to paint nothing. Come on.
I ain't painting nothing. I'm sitting here with my beer. A copy of Jugs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the 1985 back issue. Yeah,
it's the one with has an interview with Burt Baccarat. Turns out he likes Pisces.
Huh? That's interesting. Steven Spielberg wrote a bunch of shit for Playboy. Just okay. All right.
Seems like a pretty horny guy. Or was a horny guy.
Well, I was to say he's older now, but
I'm sure he can fucking shoot some ropes.
I would imagine.
He seems like a guy to be really into like prostate milking.
That might be a thing as you age. I don't know. You got to have more direct stimulation.
Anyways, I don't really have anything.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything to add to that statement.
Neither did I. So I just kind of like
just need more direct stimulation. I guess you do.
Cheers, Steven. Yeah.
Cheers I'll drink to that.
Oh, he's here. Hey, Steve. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys. You want to see this? You guys ever heard of something called BME Pain Olympics?
Yes, actually, Steven, that's coming up in the show. Or at least one of the videos from BME Pain Olympics is coming up in the show. That's a teaser for a segment later on the show.
All right, chop. So we got ourselves a tweet here.
Yes, it's translated from the original Polish. Space eggs in Mexico. Mexican RCG News showed footage of a man's testicles instead of the solar eclipse. The true dark side of the moon. And here is the video filmed off of someone's television, as you know the best videos are. Showing footage from Arkansas, I believe. And then... Just, it looks like a flashlight being pointed at the camera.
What would be, you know what would be the best part?
What?
That was the eclipse illuminating... the nuts. We'd have to see the shadow on the ground to see if it was crescent.
Yeah. It looks like just a flashlight pointed at the camera and then just a pair of nuts just kind of wander into frame and start covering up the light. And they cut away pretty quickly. It's a 30-second clip, but I just can't stop laughing at that because it's like
it's like some shit like a friend's dumbass older brother would have done to get himself expelled from school.
Right, but then they aired it on the fucking news. Like it's different if it's just like, hey, check out this video clip, and it's, you know, somebody links it in a forum or something, and it's another when it's on the goddamn news. The eclipse brought out some real weirdos. Soren Iverson pulled a bit of a fast one the other day. The sex scene discourse has continued to rage on with the release of Poor Things and a couple other movies and TV shows and whatnot. So they faked up a proposed addition to Netflix. The post reads, Netflix skip the foreplay feature, removes naughty scenes to make family movie night less awkward.
You know what? I would have actually kind of liked this as a kid.
As a kid, sure, I get that.
In the sense that my parents would sometimes put on a movie, and I think about 2/3 through it, they were like, oh, I forgot there's this scene here.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to explain it, so we're just going to awkwardly in silence watch the sex scene.
See, because I was sent out of the room if that happened. So I would see like...
Oh, no. My parent... I came, oddly enough, from a very, like, stuck-up Baptist family that was like, no, we're gonna sit here and sin together. Listen, you're gonna talk to this either to God or to your therapist.
Well, is there anything that sticks out, like a particularly egregious example? Like,
as far as like sex stuff, I think I probably blocked all that.
Sure.
But as far as like movie stuff, I remember 3 things. A movie where the full moon, if you look at it, you turn to a werewolf.
Huh.
And it's really gory in an early 80s B movie sort of way.
okay.
I vaguely remember that being, I remember seeing that like as 5 or 6 and being like, what the fuck? And,
Yeah.
Number 2, a movie where I think my parents thought I was asleep and I wasn't. And I saw a scene where like a man and a woman are kissing in the kitchen, and the woman rips the man's tongue out like real slow and like gnarly and explicitly.
Oh boy.
And the third one where 3 people, I think they're a couple and a friend, are trying to get away from like some people they ripped off or something like that, or like there's something that's pursuing them, and they're kind of like in the Badlands or something like that, and the woman, the girlfriend, gets abducted by one of these pursuing individuals, and she gets put in between 2 big rigs and ripped in half.
Jesus.
So I would understand, like, I would say in that sense, I'm actually okay with the idea of there being an option of like, hey, do you want to skip all of like the sexual and the explicitly violent stuff?
Sure. I can certainly see that. Like, my kids are 14. That does sound like something I'd be like, well, if we're watching a movie out here, like, maybe we don't need to see this.
We gotta take the scene out of storytelling where Selma Blair gets railed by the tall black man in the hotel.
Yeah, or take all the like cum scenes out of Happiness. Yeah, even though that's the best joke in the movie is at the end, kid going, "I've come." Anyway,
I haven't seen Happiness in forever.
It's extremely creepy. I do love Philip Seymour Hoffman just going, "Is it wet?"
You ever heard the Come Town Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Oh God,
they're so good.
It's been a while, but yeah, I distinctly remember that being a
fuck me in the ass, or I'm gonna fuck you in the ass.
Well, yeah, because I mean that's kind of what he does in Happiness is he's doing these lewd phone calls to his neighbor.
That's right.
Yeah,
there's something in the freezer. I think in a different movie.
That's a different movie. So this was a gag. This was a put on. This was Solon Iverson fucking around. 12,000 retweets and all these people going like, finally, you know, like
it's again, like I'm not much for censorship, but I'm okay with the option.
I think it got taken the wrong way by the anti-sex scene people, and it was seen as mockery by people like me who are kind of okay with it. You know what I mean? Like, it was weirdly divisive. The comments and stuff are fascinating to go through because it's definitely like, while this blew up, Soren says, I make unhinged stuff like this daily, so if you lolled at this or breathe through the nose a little at least, then please demolish that follow button.
The foreplay button?
And then Jeremy Judkins, how about skip to the foreplay for those of us who only want to see the scenes?
Yeah, I'm going to say, he responds, I believe there are...
other
this
sites.
User needs is already served by other sites. Yeah, there's Mr. Skin.
It's the IMDb of nude scenes. It's very bizarre. Yeah, would have benefited this from watching Oppenheimer on the plane. Okay, sure. I kind of get that.
Those scenes are really brief, though, at least. Like, it's not like you were watching, like, Doom Generation or something.
Yeah, exactly. Jon Snow 420 here. If you don't want to critique people's form and enthusiasm with your dad, I don't know what to tell you. And right above it, Ed Zitron. This has been a really good way to see who on my feed will fall for anything. So the reception was mixed, to be sure.
I feel like the watching porn with your dad. Oh, I'm like, where have I heard this thought before? Not to go back to Cumtown, but there's an episode of Cumtown where Stavros talks about his father, who's a Greek ne'er-do-well, showing him like a James Bond like parody porno when they're like visiting family in Greece, and his dad just like apparently pointing at the TV like, that's how it's done.
Yeah, I'm doing that, but with like Oppenheimer. Yeah, that's how it's done.
That's how it's done. You have like really complicated relationships with women, and then you create a thing that can end all life on Earth.
A bit of viral madness went around the other day, and the post was simply, straight man jumped in gay city for refusing to twerk. It was a video.
I went to gay city, and they all said they knew you.
They all knew you. And it was a guy getting his ass beat by a bunch of people.
People in pink.
Pink, right. And so...
Oh, Code Pink has gone too far.
Yeah. And I mean, he's just on the ground getting his ass
He
beat.
looks like he broke a heel.
Yeah. So apparently it actually was a guy getting his ass kicked in Brooklyn for allegedly slapping someone outside of a Nicki Minaj concert. Hence the pink, because Nicki Minaj's fans are called Barbs, short for Barbies.
Sure.
But yeah, just a straight man jumped in gay city for refusing to twerk. Obviously became the thing that everyone was trying to get a joke off of.
Everyone trying to jam that turd down the toilet.
Of course, my favorite is always the Korean woman in gay city. Straight men are jumped for refusing to twerk. But just the phrase alone, like it's been an earworm that's just kind of bounced around my head. Straight man jumped in gay city for refusing to twerk. It's the cellar door. It's the teenage engineering has gentrified the noise table. Like it's just, I don't know what's happened. Speaking of not knowing what's happened, a TikTok user by the name Laughter Awaits. I just discovered them, and just like Donghua Jinlong's glycine, I'm baffled.
We have to talk about the individual who's reposting this TikTok. Blight Yoakum at vomit_dragon, and their profile description is 36, forklift operator, XXX, PC gaming, and black metal / death metal fan. Folks, I want to let you know that is not one of my burner accounts.
And the cover photo is like a Giga Chad version of JC Denton from Deus Ex, with what appears to be the white sugar-free monster.
It's an amazing shitpost combination right there.
Let me see. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Well, it's more like JC Denton as like a fucking dad.
Yeah,
he's got the dad goat, the bloat tee.
Yeah, and his
the pin tweet. I have 313 confirmed kills on the forklift.
So Blight Yoakum here is reposting Laughter Awaits, his TikTok account. This, you may have seen this already. Kind of a viral trend going on TikTok. It's we're blank people. Of course we do this.
My girlfriend, when she stims on her TikTok, I overhear, but in between the casino noises, of course I'm from California. I don't wear sunscreen, and all this weird.
Well, this one was a guy and his son going around Costco. We're Costco guys. Of course we do this.
The first set of these I saw were like ones where people were running it through like editors and like turning it into like psychedelic videos. And that's actually the one I showed my girlfriend. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like this weird, like surreal shit. And then like I saw this one you're about to play, and I'm like, oh, this is wholesome.
Oh, no. This is one of the surreal ones. That's
okay.
What Laughter Awaits is doing here.
This is the one I showed my girlfriend.
We're Costco guys. Of course we go shopping while eating a chicken bake.
We're Costco guys. Of course we had to try the new double chunk chocolate cookie.
Double chunk chocolate cookie.
Double chunk chocolate cookie.
We're Costco guys. Of course we have to try out the furniture.
We're Costco guys. Of course we work out with the tires.
We're Costco guys. What the heck is this chicken bake? We're Costco guys. We're Costco guys.
They're morphing into weird inhuman shapes. There's abrupt noises. There's classic YouTube poop stuff, but they're doing it in TikTok form and with these ridiculous AI edits and fucked up scene transitions and loud noises.
This is insane.
Yeah, it's just it's unrelenting.
I can't believe this is the one I showed my girlfriend. I thought you were just going to play like the normal one. Just be like, isn't this weird? Like surprisingly wholesome and.
Oh no, the original is great, but no, laughter awaits. Boy, gotta love their vibe. They're doing these truly
unsettling.
I keep wanting to say Lynchian, but that's not quite right. You know, like it's just off-putting. And well, I mean, chicken bacon. Then he turns into a centipede of extra limbs,
human, like children peed.
It does look like there's multiple other kids kind of emerging from him. Please don't ever feed me a chicken bake if that's what it does. Hey, Brian, you know, in New York, they had an earthquake. Only in New York City, baby.
Only in New York City, baby.
Woo!
Can you have a mayor who doesn't do things?
Yeah. I wonder what that's like.
Subway trains that smell like urine.
Again,
but you can get yourself a hot slice.
Hey! Well, another thing apparently that only happened in New York, aside from the earthquake, was a guy getting a vasectomy during one. Wired magazine sat down and talked to the guy who was mid-vasectomy when the earthquake hit. I just love this story. It's so wholesome. And I mean, there's not really much to it. It's a very straightforward interview. But yeah, the McKenna Kelly writing here for Wired, asking the gentleman in question, could you paint the picture of me what it was like on that table? And his answer is, I'm laying there. He's in the middle of whatever he needs to do down there. And the whole building started shaking. I wasn't sure what was happening. It definitely felt like an earthquake. But we don't normally have those.
We don't know. We don't. We're too busy hailing a cab.
I didn't know if there was a train nearby. Or if something that would cause the building to shake. I didn't know if there's like a train nearby.
Trying to talk like Charles Bronson.
I got nothing, man. And then the doctor was like, oh my God, that's an earthquake. I thought he was messing with me. I thought it was him trying to be funny. But as this is happening, the desk staff started screaming about an earthquake. And I was like, oh, wow, this is really happening. There's not much else to this article. This little clip is pretty much the entire interview in a nutshell.
Yeah.
But just the absurd idea. I'm having this because I've had one. And I know it's a very personal moment because your pants are down. They've got you numbed up. They've got, there's one or two people cutting and doing stuff, and then they're soldering and doing it. I don't know. I don't know if they actually used a solder gun, but it smelled like burning flesh. But you're in the middle of this very sensitive operation, and then a fucking earthquake happens. It's just, to me, the image in my mind.
Yeah,
I'm
feeling a little anxious.
Yeah,
thinking about it.
I see him crossing his legs over there. Yeah. It gave me pause as well. Like, Jesus Christ.
You've been in an earthquake, yeah?
Yeah. We actually had one a couple years ago.
About 10 years ago.
It's been a while. Yeah, that's right. Because we were across the way there. Yeah, a different apartment or a different place.
Yeah, it was about 20 years ago. I remember like waking up, feeling the house shaking. And all I could just think was like, oh, I'm going to die. And there was like really no further kind of like, nah, this is it. This is how.
Really?
Just show you how like where my mind was and probably still is I woke up in the middle of an earthquake and just thinking like, oh, this is how I'm going.
Wow.
Well, all right. It was like, it was like just fully made peace of like, oh, this is how it's happening.
Jesus.
Like, woke me up.
That's exactly what happened to me. I woke up, but I thought, I don't even know what my full thought was. I just was like, oh, this is a dream. I'm having a weird dream. It's fine. But Crystal wanders in and is like, you feel that? Like, what? And so I woke up again. Like, what?
What?
Yeah, we just had an earthquake. Like, did what now? No, that doesn't happen.
Ask the neighbors. It's me.
Did you see on Facebook? Is this a thing? 20 years ago, that's when Facebook was still, a viable product and you could use it for getting timely information. Yeah, not like a racist version of Nextdoor, which I know I'm repeating myself.
Yeah.
But
I still wish I would have accepted the Benton Park Nextdoor invitation that someone erroneously sent me.
Oh boy.
Because I'm sure that would have been fucking amazing. I would have been the fucking mole.
Oh, yeah.
Being like, wow, it looks like Dave Gorelli has something. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like
Dave Gorelli?
Yeah. I'm just like, I just said a name of like a musician. Is that a guy in St. Louis who plays some music?
I have no idea. I got nothing.
They probably said there was a teenager walking in his yard and he felt scared. I don't know. His manner of posture was intimidating.
Yeah, he felt threatened.
Dave Gorelli, if it's the guy I think it is, would never think of anything like that. I was just pulling a name out of my the air. Don't sue me.
St. Louis has its fair share of porch pirates. Had some shit stolen off my front porch. Wii remotes and the occasional book will get stolen off the porch, but never.
Yeah, good job reading.
Yeah. What is it? What are you, gay?
Get your ass beat at Tower Grove because you stole a book.
Yeah.
How are you going to fucking get weed with this?
No idea.
My uncle's going to be so cheesed.
So I saw this. For some reason, I was cruising TMZ. I can't even explain why. Footage from a gentleman in Sacramento made it rounds. It's his doorbell cam. I never captured anything like this. No, it is a gentleman stealing something off his porch disguised as trash. Is he on it with a trash bag?
Slurp?
Yeah, because yeah, it does need some music.
The fucking rules.
Wandering up, and then loop. There's just something. That's a fucking.
They didn't catch him.
No.
So apparently it was the perfect crime.
Yeah, some Looney Tunes ass theft is all I'm saying.
So before we move on to the next time, I just want to. We're always looking at these web pages. There's other things that catch my eye.
Yeah.
And most popular.
Oh God.
New angle of Ricky Martin at Madonna's show proves he 100% had erection.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's see. So at a concert in Miami on Sunday, Ricky Martin and Madonna were on stage.
Wow. That's
during,
really sexual.
During the Vogue segment of the show, Ricky is getting a lap dance from two men, one of whom appears to be a
wow, yeah, Ricky Martin's definitely chubbed up there.
He's getting grinded on by a very hot young man. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
and the guy's got his face in his crotch.
Yeah, you know, I'm not gay. I would probably just have an erection out of just confusion. Just my body says I'm supposed to be doing this.
Right. Well, and I mean, Ricky has come out in the past couple of years, so like.
But I think I think most people just have like a nervous erection,
right,
like,
confused, or
this will scare off the predator.
Because the backup dancers are really.
You've made it weird. I have to walk away now.
Well, those backup dancers are really getting up at his business. Like the one guy has his head in his crotch. Yeah.
Ex-Howard Stern show star arrested after being man while driving in car.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Elisa Jordana from the 2010s. That's a deep pull because I don't remember this at all.
She's hitting that guy like he has an extra chromosome.
She's streaming in her car and at the same time
whooping the shit out of this
guy's ass.
Like he's begging for a nerd's rope.
And he's holding his nose like he's concerned that you're fine. You're fine.
Sarah donated $5.
I know what Poppy likes. Oh boy. Okay.
That's right.
He takes the wheel, grabs her hair.
That's right. Isolate.
Headlock. Sort of.
He needed to really cut off that air if he wanted to get out of this alive.
Yeah, it's sleeper or nothing in this situation. He's pulling.
Yeah, you gotta get that rear naked going. You gotta really crank it with your other hand.
Pulling hair and now sunglasses off. Okay. Oh no. You gonna do the drag out the car?
You're sorry.
Oh God. Oh boy.
Did she just like pull another car has approached?
She got in with them, I guess, saying he's actively harming me. All while cameras are rolling, of course. He only thinks to stop the video once all this has transpired. Jesus wept.
Wow.
Somebody called the cops. When officers arrived, they heard both sides and looked at the video, ultimately determining Elisa was the aggressor. So cops arrested and booked her for simple domestic battery. She has since apologized, telling TMZ, "I'm very sorry for my actions on my live stream. I wish that hadn't happened. It's a moment I'm not very proud of. She used to be a bit of a thing. She not only appeared on Stern, but has credits on Kimmel, Redemption Song, City Girl Diaries, Vanderpump Rules, and more." So apparently...
Interesting. Wow.
Apparently Artie had a bit of commentary on that. Oh, she dated Benji.
Oh,
okay. That makes a lot of sense.
This clip here has Ari Lang. That's a million years ago.
Yeah, I was saying it was about 2010
He's
or
a
so.
fucking garbage man now. Are we going to talk about the guy with bumper stickers on his car that say Helen Keller isn't real?
You know, Helen Keller isn't real has been a bit of a meme in the past couple of years. I didn't really think anything extra about that. What?
Apparently that's a thing now. Like my girlfriend, I think, has been served like a Helen Keller isn't real TikTok at least once or twice.
It's been several years because I think I saw this right before we started doing the show. Is that Helen Keller wasn't real? How could she do all that stuff? But then some of it's people taking the piss and saying like, "How could you fly all those airplanes?" Feeling
right, but I think it's another thing of the fucking post QAnon like fucking brain worms.
Oh yeah,
people have completely divorced from reality. And when I saw that, because I think QAnon Anonymous did an episode on it recently.
Yes.
I think it was seeing like a Helen Keller isn't real thing or whatever, and just thinking like Howard Stern with a time machine, and just being like, yeah, we're here in Portage de Sceaux, and we've got Helen Keller on the Sibian. All right, what's that motion? What's that motion she's making with her hand? Oh, she's wet. Water.
Yeah. But they got the soundboard from the movie, so it's just like whoa. They're just because they do that. They hit the fucking soundboards all the time during that show, and fucking
God. I just think that would be the all-timer Howard Stern bit. We've got Helen Keller on the Sibian.
She's real, folks.
She's real, and she's
Robin just cackling in the background,
cackling the whole time, and fucking. Baba
I feel like
Booey.
that's my whole role in this show. Is I'm Robin because I laughed.
Baba Booey is trying to keep the microphone. He doesn't know where to put the microphone. He's just really confused. Beetlejuice comes out.
Beetle, you ever met a celebrity before? I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. I'm fire.
And then he tries to rope in like Wendy the Slow Adult, and like just
King of All Blacks.
King of All Blacks. Oh, rest in peace. Yeah, he passed away. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame.
I feel like anyone who listens to Howard Stern, this is going to really date when I stopped listening.
Yeah,
which was about 20 years ago.
Well, what's funny is that like a lot of the same whack packers are still around. Like you'll still hear. I mean, you'll still hear him talk about King of All Blacks, even though he's not around anymore. But like his producer Benji is still on the show, and that's 14 years after that clip we were just talking about. Like he was dating this Elisa woman. But yeah, I will listen to him a couple hours a week just because like every once in a while he'll hit on a fucking riff, and it just keeps going. Like I think sometimes we riff too long. No, they go for. They'll extend a riff for like 20 minutes because they've got that satellite money. Yeah, time traveling Howard Stern. Who else would he want to get on the Sibian? Joan of Arc, maybe. Robin, you speak French. What's she saying?
Hitler's wife,
Eva Braun.
Eva Braun's on the Sibian.
Changed the entire outcome of the war.
Changed the entire outcome of the war. I'm trying to think who else could be on the Sibian. There's a name on the tip of my tongue.
Sandra Day O'Connor, Amelia
Earhart. We'll have to revisit this at another time. I'll have to like make a list.
Yeah. Who you would want to see on the Sibian.
The Sibian through time. It's the Howard Stern History Series.
Shoot us an email, jason@4minutesdogsbarking.com with who you think Howard Stern should send to be on the Sibian.
Amazing.
Any figure from history. I would love to hear from you about... I think it's time for Crypto Scam of the Week, though, don't you?
Yeah, fuck it.
You're listening to 48 Minutes of Dogs Barking, the podcast.
And now it's time for the Crypto Scam of the Week.
So here's what's fun. This is a fun one. I like fun ones because this one's actually very lighthearted, and no one's life was ruined, and no actual criminal action happened. I'm very excited about this. Have you heard about this, Brian? It's called $The Plan.
I haven't.
So $The Plan was a cryptocurrency that was announced in the headline, the world's first meme coin pre-announced as a rug pull. And there you have the really bastardized drawing of Nathan Fielder from Nathan For You, because of course, in every episode of Nathan For You, the plan is, and then he would detail the plan for the business owner. So $The Plan.
In today's fast-paced crypto world, it's hard to keep up with the latest trends. And you never know when the project you put all your faith and hard-earned fiat in will turn out to be a rug pull. We have decided to simplify the process for you by announcing right off the bat, yes, the plan is a rug pull. Unlike many products in crypto, which refuse to offer financial advice, we can confidently give this financial advice. Do not buy this coin as it will go to zero. Only trust information on theplan.website or official socials. We would not want you to accidentally make money. The post-launch update. We managed to raise a whopping 8.8 ETH during our pre-sale. However, before we were able to make off with the funds, a vigilante hacker took 6.9 ETH and deposited in an LP, ensuring the token had a legitimate launch. However, this has not stopped us from rugging some of the remaining things to do things like buying a goat for a farmer in Kenya, donating to the LA Regional Food Bank, and helping Palestinian refugees. The key deets, 69 million fixed supply of the plan on Base, which is Coinbase's blockchain.
Yep.
And it's going to zero. I've never
this.
seen a project exactly like this.
Yeah.
I have seen projects by devs that always rugged.
Yeah.
There was a guy called 20%. I think I mentioned him before.
I think you have.
Where he would do things like you could only buy 2 at a time, and they were called shoes. And he would basically just keep it going. He'd be in the Telegram, and he'd be like, cool, this is enough where I can like buy groceries for the week. Thank you, guys. And you were just kind of playing the fucking game if you were involved with that.
Yeah.
There was a couple guys. There was a guy also on BSC, a dev called himself Crackman. Everything he did was it was again, but there was only some weird fucking gimmick that like you were putting your $30 in to be entertained.
Yeah.
And there was another guy called Print F who did similar stuff where like you just do if I saw that Print F or Crackman was launching another token.
Like,
I was like, okay, I gotta follow this because it's going to be entertaining.
It's going to zero, but yeah, we know.
No one ever got mad getting rugged by Crackman.
Because you knew what you were getting into, I guess. Yeah.
But that's nice that they helped out, and helping people in Africa is always a worthwhile thing.
Here's from April 4th. Shit, the hacker has struck again. This is their official Twitter, by the way, @theplancoin. I was hoping to recover all the ETH from the LP he put my money in, but now he's put the LP token under a 1-year lock on unisex. And then the Jesse gif from Breaking Bad, he can't keep getting away with this. Here's, rugged. I spent 50 of your hard-earned dollars buying a goat for a farmer in Africa that will be named after the project. I bet you feel like such chumps now, huh? I think it was... Because I think the whole hacker put it in an LP is obviously bullshit. Because it just feels like part of the bit. But you got to admit, in a world, crypto especially, full of bullshit people who are always lying to your face, at the very least, they had the honesty to say, it's going to zero. Which, I always appreciate that kind of...
Just for shits and giggles, I went into Telegram. And I got all these groups that I've joined where I would see weird shit on Twitter. And I just searched Crackman.
Oh, no.
And, it's just people like, in certain groups talking about, like, from 2001, get in Crackman new shits. There's a group that I've never seen called False Alarm Crackman Rebranded.
Oh, no. Crackman. Just a good sense of humor is always nice, especially in a place so rife with scams that are legit scams. It's just, boy, it feels good to have that bit of honesty. I don't know.
I'm actually amazed I don't see more stuff that helps Palestinian refugees and stuff like that. Considering that there are a lot of people in crypto that are from the Middle East and are from Africa that are Muslim and from Asia. So
that's a fair point. Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of solidarity. It is really weird to look at some guy's Twitter feed and he's talking about like, charts and stuff. And he's like graphing out Bitcoin and, look at this bull flag and look, the monthly's so sexy. And then being like, Nazi Israelis are dogs, they all should be murdered and hung. And you're like, that's a tone shift.
Yeah. Yowza. Yeah. Jeez, man.
These AI coins are really good. And the next tweet is like a quote tweet of a video of like a Palestinian child, like half blown up, getting rolled up in a rug.
Jesus.
And just being like, all of these monsters need to be buried under the ground with no mercy. And you're like, huh.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
And happy, what's
Eid Mubarak.
Yes. Also lots of those in between Eid Mubarak and Ramadan tweets.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will hit them with the shoe,
Yeah. Or the one woman on TikTok, she has the cat, Sister Minnie.
Oh, yes, my girlfriend showed me that. It's amazing.
Sister Minnie, she's admonishing the cat, for being possessed by a demon. She is unsubscribed from...
Cats won't disrespect the Quran.
No, they will not. At least not mine. Because they've been raised right.
Anyway. Be tolerant of other religions, Apple.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, God. She's the one, too. She's the one that hits people. She's the one that just will hit you like 4 or 5 times for seemingly no reason. Gibson, because he's older, he's mellowed out. He doesn't really bite people anymore. He, as a younger cat, he would just like, you smell weird, I'm going to bite you. But he doesn't do that anymore. But Apple has kind of taken up that role. She's
his 401k is finally working for him.
Yeah, exactly. He's got shit going on.
I'll buy this boat. Fuck off. All right. So here's our main subject of the episode, which is one of those things where I like to do, whereas I like to just message Jason like the preceding like Monday before we record. Like, here's something nothing about.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm going to disappear and never talk to you about it again until we record. Because my life's a fucking shit show, and I've had about maybe 5 hours of myself since I've gotten back from Louisville.
Well, now, I've done a little bit of research on this, but you seem to be the expert, so I will defer to your judgment on this.
So back in the day, I'm going to actually sit up in the chair here when I talk.
That means he's serious. You know that's what that means.
Get it in there. You got them brain dogs.
Here, let me... There we go.
There we go. So back in the day, there used to be a thing on the internet where people would just be creative in whatever way possible, and not seemingly for monetary reasons or for clout, just generally to be like expressive and weird. And that came about in a lot of different ways. I guess some stuff was more fame seeking, like Lonely Girl 15 or whatever.
Yeah.
In the early days of YouTube, there was a thing called machinima, which was using video games as a way to express like plot and story, and to use it to bring in other elements of other media. I actually knew someone that worked at Machinima, and they seemed like they really enjoyed it. But like all things, VC and private equity has ruined it, and it's weird to think that this was really popular, this kind of stuff, for about 3 to 5 years. I think most people, the most common thing of Machinima they probably have encountered is like Reverse is Blue.
Yep. The long-running web series based on Halo 2?
Halo and Halo 2.
Halo and Halo 2, okay. Yeah, they would take footage, multiplayer footage from that, created a whole storyline. There was a whole TV series eventually that ran for like 10 seasons.
And so GMan Squad, so I was like going to college. I had a lot of free time. I couldn't hold a job because I was just like a really disagreeable human being. So I spent a lot of time posting. I spent so much fucking time on the internet. I played World of Warcraft, I want to say, for about 5 or 6 months straight, just about every day.
Damn.
And it was right before the second... it was right before the second expansion came out. Wrath of the Lich King.
Lich King, okay.
And it was, which is really funny because I spent all this time playing with goons and leveling up character, and then Wrath of the Lich King came out, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, that was
and
a lot of people.
Some of the guys from the nerds I was playing with were a little mad that I just like was fucking hardcore for like 6 months. I'm like, I don't know what classes are back, and I don't want to sit in the basement all day.
Yeah. Yeah, I was that way with Tribes 2. It was the same thing. Bunch of goons. We got a Tribes 2 server going, and then I'm like, all right, I'm bored. I don't want to do this anymore.
I've done this thing. I can see how people ruin their life over it, and I don't want to do it. But I was playing a lot of Team Fortress 2, playing a lot of Zombie Master.
Zombie Master, that was the mod. The
mod.
Yeah.
It was asymmetrical. One person it was almost like an RTS game.
Okay.
And then and that was the Zombie Master. And you didn't have control over anything other than like where you spawn things, like if you did traps.
Okay.
Things like
almost
that.
Like a tower defense.
Sort of.
Yeah.
And then there was like 3 or 4 other characters. There would be humans. This is all done with like Half-Life 2 resources. Mm-hmm. And the other team would have to like find stuff, accomplish things. Like the default level, I think, was you had to find parts for a car. It was actually really fucking fun.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
The main mod behind it was a guy who called himself Angry Lawyer. And I think he eventually abandoned it. And I think it was revived a couple years ago. I'd have to check that out. But that's a whole other kind of thing to discuss. But I think I came across this because of like YCS, the shit posting, Fayed Light video games forum on Something Awful. Mm-hmm. And I think this encapsulates a very interesting part of YouTube. Kind of just like video game entertainment.
Yeah.
This seems to be really done for just the joy and the pleasure of the people that are creating it.
An audience of one, really.
Yeah, them and like the people that they play games with.
Yeah.
Like this feels like something that's like someone would make for other people on the Something Awful forums to consume.
So it was called GMan Squad. GMan, of course, the character from Half-Life, the first Half-Life game and the second one. But in this case, it was the first one. It was Half-Life Deathmatch Source, as it came packaged with Half-Life 2 Deathmatch, Half-Life 2 Episode 1 in the orange box. If you remember that. That was a whole debacle because you had to install Steam to get it to run on your computer. I remember distinctly playing Half-Life Deathmatch Source because Half-Life Deathmatch, when it first came out, was I hadn't played any online deathmatch ever. So that was my introduction to online deathmatch stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, I can see that this is going to be big.
Yeah.
Because it followed, because I think there was a Doom online mod that you could do, and there was a few other like not official ones, but it wasn't until Quake 3, because that was the whole thing about Quake 3 is that it was online and you could do deathmatch with anyone. I hadn't played that yet, but
I feel like the peak of that era of like online deathmatch games was probably Unreal Tournament 2K4.
And I was not an Unreal guy. I played the first Unreal.
I wasn't an Unreal guy either, but UTK2 Unreal Tournament UT2K4.
I know. Just, what a clunky.
I would probably play that right now if I if given the opportunity, if I could get it to run.
But what was interesting about this is that it did come with a suite of things. You could change your character model.
Yeah.
Because normally when you played the Half-Life Deathmatch, you would have a choice of models. Most people would play as like Gordon Freeman or one of the scientists or the security guards. But these guys, hence the name, all played as the G-Man. The mysterious, possibly working for the aliens government agent guy based on the smoking man from the X-Files.
Yep.
When did you first come across this? You said it was during the YCS Something Awful era?
I think it was probably like, I was going to college and I had all this free time. This was like 2006, 2007-ish.
Yeah.
Probably just would have been like working like a crappy day job.
Sure.
Posting, going to school. Most of my close friends had gone to college out of town. So it was kind of just like hanging out. And if there's one thing I can really stress to the listeners of this show, that if you were like just out of high school or in your early 20s in St. Louis, I want to say from between like 2004 like 2009, there wasn't shit going on.
No.
You literally were feeling like I am wasting the prime of my life in a town where nothing is happening.
Doubly so for me because I was in Edwardsville, Illinois.
God.
So I did live down the street from a bar, so that was nice. I could just walk over.
We've got both kinds of beer.
Yeah.
Coors and
Coors Light. Yeah. Also, but I was also down the street from a video store, which was nice because it was not only a video store, but it was a video store that carried porno. Anyway.
Wow. Just,
you got all your basic needs.
I think I'm going to jack off tonight, Clyde. Yeah, I'm gonna use my charge card.
Yeah, I'm gonna live high on the hog.
My parents can't see my bank statement.
That's right.
But so yeah, really just posting online and being like a fucking terror when my friends were back in town.
Yeah,
absolutely fucking nothing. So no wonder why I spent all my time posting and being weird. But yeah, I remember watching this and thinking like, oh, this is really fucking weird and funny, and a lot of like guys from YCS would eventually do like similar things with like the TF2 servers and stuff like that, the LCs, Lost Continents. But these are surprisingly entertaining. I think really if we're going to watch one together, I think the Christmas special.
I've watched about half of these and then I was like, okay, I kind of get the idea. I did not get as far as the Christmas special, so this is new to me, but I will say these guys really like to use the F-Slur.
It was the style at the time.
I know.
Like I think back then, I don't think I would have thought twice about it. Really,
a lot of people didn't. Yeah. Well, a new poster on 4chan was called a new.
Yeah, they do love the F-Slur, but now like watching it as a woke man, I'm wearing my DeRay McKesson gay Doritos shirt,
and you just anytime you hear the beep. Just know that we're shaking our heads and we're disagreeing with it. Yeah.
I'm not laughing like a child.
Nope. All right. So here it is. Episode 6, the Christmas special.
How this starts is that in the in-game mythology, about 3 or 4 episodes in, they pick up a guy, I guess just randomly on their playing with him, a guy who goes by the name Crackbone.
Crackbone, yes.
Who has a mealy mouth, like northeastern accent. Kind of sounds like Bam Margera.
Yes.
And in this episode, it starts with his character crashing into a silo and landing on top of a building. And Crackbone prank calls what sounds like a immigrant-owned business.
And says he's on the roof.
I'm on the roof.
Hello?
Hey, listen, I'm on your roof.
Sorry?
I'm on your roof.
Who's calling? Who's this?
I'm on your roof. What's wrong with you? I'm on your roof. Please try to pay attention.
You're on our roof?
Yes.
What are you doing there?
I need your help. I need them ladder
What are you doing on the roof?
I was looking for my car keys.
You're looking for your car keys on our roof?
Yes.
Okay, we are coming outside to check if there's someone on the roof, yeah?
Okay. I'm lying down, though.
Huh?
I'm lying down on my back. I got them back problems.
How did you get to the roof?
I climbed up there.
You said you're looking for your car keys?
On the roof. On
the roof?
Yes.
Okay, someone is coming out to check, yeah?
I'm lying down on my back. Tell them I'm on my back.
Okay, so you want us to... How do you want us to help you? Call the...
I need somebody to come up here. I'm feeling real bad. I'm feeling real bad. I got some brain doubts. You know?
How did you get this number?
I found a flyer outside before I climbed up there.
Okay, just hold on there. Someone is trying to check out.
Come on.
You can't move. Can you?
I can't move. I can't. I got them diabetes in me. You hear me?
He says he needs them ladder faggots, which is about the most amazing euphemism for a fireman I've ever heard. When I watched this yesterday and I heard that phrase, I'm like, that's so good.
So you also, for context, Crackbone first appeared because he plays one of the characters from one of the expansions.
Opposing
Forces, thank you. And in a previous episode, he had spent most of that time during the episode explaining to the GMan crew monetary policy. It'll cut to something else, and then it cuts back to...
Here's the controls the monopoly of the reserves of banks. The Federal Reserve simply credits the reserves
Just
of
my
the
monetary
banks with
policy.
money. Listen, asshole! I'm reading my bullshit, and you're listening. That's not going to change just because you're a dick. In fact, that's exactly why this is happening. Because you're a dick.
I was listening.
And so, yes, now he's looking for the ladder F-Slurs.
Get him off the roof.
Get him off the roof.
I need your help. I got them brain doubts.
If you want me to help you,
Yes.
you'll have to describe to me where you are, because I don't know how you. This is an industrial.
I know what you are.
How did you get there on top of the roof? You have to have an idea where you are.
I know. I climbed up them pipe.
Huh?
I climbed up them pipe. You hear me?
You climbed up?
Them pipe. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay, the only way I can help you is to call the ambulance. The fire brigade to come and get you down, or the police.
Can you go ahead and do that?
Yeah, but you'd have to describe to me where you think you are.
I see like a lot of machineries around me. I'm seeing the machinery.
Well, one thing I will say also is that the fucking mic quality is so bad.
It's so fucking bad.
And then half the time the guys are just screaming into these really bad mics. And so
I read a comment. I read a comment on one of these. I saw a phrase I hadn't thought of or seen in a while, which was ear rape.
Yeah.
Because that's what we would do. Like, we go into a Christian TF2 server.
Yeah. With your shitty little Logitech just blasted.
Yeah. You're grabbing it.
Yeah.
Just the waveform is just a solid block.
Yeah. Anyway, all the G-men are assembled for Christmas. Let's see.
In the office. In
the
Counter-Strike office.
From CS
map.
office, yeah.
Can you guys believe it's Christmas already?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are everybody presents now or what? Hey, wait, where's Clyde? I don't know. Let's just start opening presents. Darko, I think you're first. Oh, yeah.
Okay, now I'm gonna open my present up from Crackburn.
Yay.
Crackburn, this is for children, specifically male boys aged from 5 through 12. What's the meaning of this?
Oh, that's for your sexual partner.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Thanks, Crackburn. You prick.
Anyway, let's move on. Gerald, Mr. Central gave you a present. Why don't you go ahead and check it out?
Ooh, I wonder what it is. Maybe I should give it a little shake to see what's inside. Or maybe it shakes on its own. Oh, a sweater! How adorable! Oh my gosh, Mr. Central, you're such a sweetie.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice sweater.
I like it.
Hey, why don't you spin around? Let's see the back.
I'm a big F-Slur on the back there.
Back of the Cosby sweater.
No, God. Damn it. And a 2-minute title sequence there with all the credits. Crackbone, Xanatos, Stev, Jack, Darkville, Zimbabwe, Gerald, Mr. Sensual.
Yeah, when people would just like have an online handle and that was what they wanted to be credited by. I saw one person was credited as MM3 guy as one of the skinners. But yeah, this went on for a while. Xanatos and the Janus Syndicate. One of those entities I think is still around in some form today.
Janus Syndicate is still around. Every once in a while putting up the occasional machinima type of video, but never to the level of this. According to this bit here, lambdageneration.com, which is a nice little website for the history of all things Half-Life.
Yeah.
If you've ever had a chance to visit the site, it's really nice. A guy named Jeff tends to curate it all. But he describes it as such. The series started off as a joke after a man named Boris decided in a Ventrilo conversation, boy, Ventrilo.
Get off my vent or I'll have you bent.
That's right. Decided to create a clan for Half-Life Deathmatch Source, a game nobody played. So Xanatos, the director, was recording a session of gameplay after they switched to a single-player map, and GMan Squad members HK Sniper and Wolfer began running down the halls, screaming and killing NPCs. That's episode 1, by the way.
Yeah, which is kind of surprisingly funny for like just a bunch of random bullshit. One guy tries to explain how to use the wall-mounted laser trip mines.
Oh yeah,
as like ladders or as steps to get to different parts of the maps that you're not supposed to get to. And of course, everyone else has to go run into the laser beam and blow everyone up.
Yeah, of course. Some of these videos are unavailable, unfortunately, because just time and link rot and whatnot. But let's see here. The entirety of the tram bit, it says. That's what the Internet Archive is there for.
And this is the girl. We don't know her name, though. Back in my day, we didn't have names.
That's not true.
That's not a girl. Prove it.
I am too a girl.
Girl on the internet?
Yeah, that
it really shows the time period. Like, that's a bit. A girl on the internet.
No
that's
way.
The joke.
Yeah, that's the entire.
That's the joke.
Yep. So it is a tram level from Half-Life that they're playing with, I think, the sewer music from a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game.
Turtles in Time.
Turtles in Time. And then they would interrupt these episodes with chat with the GMan Squad.
Today we have a question from Speed12236. He writes, "Oh, come on. Can I join the G-Man Squad? Plox, 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 plox."
Playing I think it was called S-Mod, that would let you play Half-Life with your friends. Like, you would load it up like a multiplayer level.
Right.
But you would play. That was actually really fucking fun.
Now, you'd go through the entirety of Half-Life with your group.
And there were certain mods you could download, certain maps, so stuff would be a little bit more challenging or more interesting because you had multiple people. And some people built entire campaigns around this. This is what it kind of reminds me of. But yeah, G-Man Squad. Wow. Whew. You fat.
Oh, God. It lasted for a while. They did about 2010, 8th episode production started, uploaded November 6th. And then Machinima later removed the episodes from YouTube in 2018. Xanatos then uploaded the remaining episodes to his own YouTube channel. They had, let's see here, 9 episodes, including one called The Lost Tapes. Unused material from episodes 1 to 4 kind of got compiled into this. There's one called The G-Man Squad Remastered, which is the revisited and re-edited content from the original G-Man Squad. New footage. The G-Man Squad is stated to be finished by J.S. Xanatos. That's Janus Squad Xanatos. It's not really a 10th episode, just a polished version of the first 3. So it's done. It lasted for 8 years with the remixes and the remasters and the whatnots. But, I mean, for something that was kind of just a bunch of guys dicking around, it feels like it lasted a while. Yeah. It wasn't ever at that popularity level of Red versus Blue or anything where it got a fucking TV show on G4, but it still was kind of a proof of concept that something like that could be workable. Machinima in general had just a very interesting trajectory. People were just dicking around in video games, making...
And some people were doing like absurdly serious shit with it too, which was almost impossible to watch.
Well, what was one that was like that?
I can't remember. I blocked that shit out, but I remember coming across a few when the Machinima channel was still around and thinking like this is fan fiction that someone just changed the names to make it something quote unquote original, and I can't oblige that.
Fan fiction is its own whole thing. I think we may have to do a future episode on something like AO3 or
Esquiteria.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. There's so many places where fan fiction proliferates.
Yeah.
Video game fan fiction, though, is...
Snape, skull fucking, Rainbow Bright.
There's got to be at least 10 of those on AO3 right now. An archive of our own, by the way. That's what the A is and the O and the 3 O's are. People still cite AO3 as like a cultural moment. I don't think they'll ever do that for G-Man Squad, which is a shame.
Yeah, well, they're a bunch of fans.
No, jeez.
Well, we're blurring it. We're blurring it.
No,
out
I know.
So
Every 2 seconds in this episode is beep, 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 beep.
I got them brain dogs. I'm on your roof.
I do have the brain dogs. I do.
The thing what kind of got me coming back to this or thinking about was I do find myself every once in a while working on something and I may be feeling like I'm like maybe getting a little frustrated and I'm trying to just like find some way to release the pressure of whatever I'm working. Like if I'm trying to finish writing something or whatever, I just got them brain dogs.
It's me editing every episode of this show. I got the brain dogs. I'm telling you.
I'm on your roof.
Yeah.
I got them diabetes in me.
I got the diabetes in me. It's like, that doesn't... All right, man. Yeah, sure. Go. What a very particular time and place. I don't think people could do that these days. I mean, maybe they could. It depends on the group, and it depends on what game they're doing, but it really definitely feels...
I don't think anyone's really doing that with, like, Final Fantasy 14. I think there's people try doing it with World of Warcraft. I'm sure there's still someone out there doing it. When I was thinking about this, was either doing machinima has crossed my mind before. I think maybe I had thought about G-Man at one point as being a thing. And I was also thinking it was either going to be this or Party Princess Palace.
Oh, no, we got to go Party Princess Palace at a future episode for sure. Because
couponbug.com.
Yeah, just there's so much there. Yeah, you don't want to go into it, but very, very much of a time and place, though. Even Party Princess Palace feels like that era has kind of passed us by. Maybe somebody's doing it on Twitch and we don't even know. I have no idea.
Like, I would rather watch stuff like this than watch like a Twitch stream.
Well, that's true, because this is edited. Someone has sat down and cut out all the best stuff, even though the preponderance of the F-Slur is everywhere in this.
It was the style of the time.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not defending it. I'm just explaining it.
No, I understand. And I get it, too. Like I said, I was on 4chan and everyone was called a new, and I get it. Like, time and place.
I also feel like I was called that enough in high school that I can kind of...
Trust me. Same here. It doesn't make me... I'm very uncomfortable saying it, even now.
I'm not. Okay. I am very comfortable
clearly.
I'm really sorry to say, Jason, that you have to work these like normal straight jobs.
Yeah.
Because these weird blue collar jobs that I have unfortunately found myself in,
you probably hear it.
It is really funny to tell someone, hey, stop being a... And they have to like... Oh,
they know you mean business.
Oh, I'm fucking up something. Like...
Because I don't hear that. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, if like a guy at my job said, "Hey," I'd be like, "Oh man, I'm fucking up something."
Yeah,
I wouldn't be offended. I would be like, "Oh, am I about to hurt? Am I doing something with? Am my forklift stuck on something?
Right? Am I being dangerous? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Like we don't. It's like using the R slur. Like you ain't really use that unless you really are trying to say something.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. But like I said, like I don't run into it in my day to day, so it feels very.
Hey, it, why isn't my hotel Wi-Fi working?
I did actually have that on a call, but that was like 11 years ago. It's been a while. What are you f***its doing over there? It was.
Sir, we're trying to fix your internet so you can
stream your gay porn.
Stream your gay pornography.
But like I said, this whole machinima in general is very time and place, and this Half-Life stuff is very time and place. Like, boy, I don't see anybody making Half-Life stuff. There's not a lot of Half-Life memes going on, unless you're following specific pages on Facebook.
Weird is that they made a new version of Source Engine.
Oh yeah,
a next gen, a current gen, not necessarily a direct equivalent to like Unreal Engine 5.
Was it for Half-Life Alyx? Was that what the
maybe? When they came out, and you'd think like, oh, maybe they'll port something.
Well, yeah, because I mean, Gary's Mod's still around, because I always think about that.
I'm pretty sure it's how Skibidi Toilet's being made.
That's a fair point. Yeah, Skibidi Toilet is probably the most recent Half-Life adjacent machinima type of thing.
Yeah.
But even that's so heavily modded, because that's the thing. Like these days, in order to like get what you want out of it, you got to mod the shit out of it, and Gary's Mod's great, but even that has its limits. I don't really think anybody's making machinima because I guess just like the money's not there.
Money's not there. I mean, again, you can just be like that on like a Twitch stream.
Yeah,
and I think it would be to the same end.
Right. Because the Twitch streamers I watch, Code Miko, all her shit is like really advanced. She's got the VR rigs and she's wearing the body.
Is she the one that wears like the green pants so the screen's on her ass?
I don't think that's her. She has a full body rig. So this character she's created in Blender,
like a V2
follows.
character.
Yeah, but it's It's much more involved than that. It's like it's rendered in Unreal 5. So I mean,
Okay.
like it's super high specs. And she interviews people in character as this. Code Miko is a pro follow on Twitch. But like the other people that I watch,
My ex was really into like the Japanese doggy girl. You know what I'm talking about?
No, but I'm familiar with kind of the genre.
Playing weird, like cheap Steam games, like where you have to like pick up stuff with like a crappy helicopter and put it on like a cargo ship.
Okay.
Like 2D stuff and like other stuff that was more mainstream. She went viral in the early days of the pandemic because she was playing Grand Theft Auto 5 or San Andreas. I think it was 5.
Mm-hmm.
And she was sniping people and doing headshots while screaming, "Go inside! Go inside!"
I missed this completely. Oh man, that's amazing.
I think the only streamers I will watch now are like Bok Soup because he's a big Resident Evil nerd like me.
Yeah.
There's a couple guys where I will watch like their edited streams.
Yes.
Like I will not watch the 8-hour stream that you have on Twitch. I will gladly watch most of a 3-hour cut down of that.
Sure.
Like while I'm cleaning the apartment or something.
Because I'll put on girlfriend reviews. The guy, Matt, is always amusing when he's playing something, but only if it's a game that I'm interested in. Like if he's playing Elden Ring when it first came out, I would sit down and watch them.
I watched a couple Elden Ring streams, yeah, of like people that I was familiar with. Like Slow Beef, I think I watched a little bit of his.
Yeah.
The OG of Let's Plays.
Yes. The occasional drill stream, but his piss streams are often absurd and kind of like, well, it's not really gaming. You're just
making a microwave burrito. And then...
just the weirdest shit you can think of. Yeah, he's definitely changing the game on Twitch. I'm trying to think of who else I would really watch. Video Game Donkey, because he's always just amusing in general. Seeing him play games with friends is always fun. The Eat Chain guys.
Yeah.
The YKS guys. What were the guys? The Chapo guys. The
Chapo.
FYM.
Fuck you mean.
Fuck you mean. Yeah. So.
But anyways.
Anyway.
That's GMan Squad. Machinima. Weird internet stuff.
Very strange.
15 some odd years ago.
A lot of F-Slurs in that.
A lot of F-Slurs.
Yeah, boy.
Whew. Boy, yeah. Because we all thought Eminem was cool back then.
Well, because I sat there. I was when I got home from picking the kids up from school. I was like, okay, I gotta check this out. I can't go into this blind. I gotta know something about this. And so I pulled up the Internet Archive. Is very nice because they have the entire collection of all the GMan Squad videos. Somebody was very nice and uploaded them, and so it's all in a playlist. I'm like, okay. Picked up Splatoon 2, and I'm listening to the way it was meant to be played. And boy, I'm every 2 seconds I'm looking up, going, "Okay, he said it again. All right, okay, there it is again. Ladder F words. Okay, all right. Well, I guess that's it.
You gotta admit that is a really funny way to describe
the fire department. Yeah,
I need them ladder guys.
Yeah. But I got the brain dogs. I think I have a new phrase I'm going to start using with my coworkers. Like, I got them brain dogs. One thing that is going to give you brain dogs is this next segment. That's right. It's shock.jpg. I did the segue.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Shock.jpg.
It's called PressureSpot, Brian. Now, PressureSpot is a video that is, of course, no longer available. But you know me, I have a way of finding these types of things, and thanks to the good folks at the Internet Archive, we have leaned on them heavily for this episode. We lean on them heavily sometimes for certain episodes, just because these things happen. Sites go down.
I love the PressureSpot.com t-shirt design contest. Send your designs to webmaster@PressureSpot.com. If we choose your design, we will send you a $50 Amazon.com gift certificate as well as a free shirt. Contest ends April 1st, 2006. Find someone to fuck tonight. Browse for free, and they have 2.2 million active members. Many thanks to Bagslap for the great flash loop.
Bagslap.com was originally what I was going to put up for our shock.jpg tonight, but It's just gay porn. So I was like, oh, that's fine. The bag slap refers to two guys' testicles hitting each other during gay sex. That's it. That's bagslap.com. But
this guy's putting on his human toupee.
PressureSpot.com and instead is a dear God, that's loud. Is a bald man shoving his head into a woman's vagina. So this feels like Kids in Sandbox, what we talked about in a previous episode, where I'm like, okay, this is like from New Freaks of Nature or something. Like this is really fake, but I don't know. Yeah, a woman is spreading her flaps there, and a overweight man is sticking his bald head.
Is that Stone Cold Steve Austin? It's the champ! He's cracking open. He's slamming the beers around.
Oh god! And there's this like really sped up, awful version of "Stuck on You" is the name of the song.
Amazing.
It feels fake. I want to believe it's fake. I don't know. I know that there's people who do extreme things to their genitalia. We've seen it on the show before. It's not new, but please tell me that's fake. I can't live in a world where that could happen for real. It feels wrong to me. I don't know. Something about it. It's just something about it that I'm just like, okay, that is really bizarre for sure. And you said he's getting up to his ears. Yes, indeed. Indeed he is.
He's heating up.
Yeah. Is it the shoes? Just what a fun, sexy time for
his
this
head
guy.
must smell.
Oh God, yeah. He's got to be taking a shower right after that. There's no.
That would drive me nuts.
Well, yeah, because you're doing that.
It's not like one of those things where you're driving home.
Oh yeah.
You got your arm up. You're resting your chin on your hand. You're like, oh yeah, that's right. I was doing cool shit about 45 minutes ago. It's not like that kind of situation.
No, because you'd probably be right away. You'd be like,
yeah.
You're doing the rabbit nose. You're wrinkling your nose on. What is? Oh, duh.
Where was my head? Gosh. Goofy me.
Yeah. When I think of something like that, I wouldn't think of like an overweight guy with a really big head. I think if you wanted to go and do that, you're going to do it with like, I don't know, the guy from the New Kid where he's got the real tiny head, you know?
He was bred for this.
Yeah. That's his deal. That's his whole thing.
It is my bag, baby.
It feels like a circus act. I don't know why, but that kind of thing feels like obviously it probably wouldn't have actually done it in a circus at that time, but it feels like one of those things like, see the woman with the amazing vagina.
The old-timey days.
Yeah, like he wears a woman like a hat.
See the amazing pussy hat.
Yeah.
Down at the boardwalk at Coney Island.
Big cane and the pimp suit. Like, the world has never seen such an amazing thing. Everyone has the transatlantic accent. And they're doing
see the amazing pussy. See it eat a whole entire turkey. It's a 4-course meal coming up the other end. She can pack a lunch without holding anything in her hands.
She plays no-touch football. Yeah, just... I guess the carnival barkers kind of had that role. I guess we've always been...
Screaming, what's in the pussy?
Yeah. No.
What she got? It's car keys.
No, but I'm thinking like...
It's a whole Buick LeSabre.
I was thinking about like, okay, before we had shock sites, what did we do? And I'm like, yeah, we went to the fucking circus.
We went to the circus.
Yeah. We saw the bearded woman.
We saw what happened to the slow kids that escaped the sanatorium.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the
people that elected to get a lobotomy, but then went the wrong way.
Yeah. Because, I mean, a lot of this stuff that's...
I like how some of the stuff, too, wasn't like anything like freaky. It was like, come see the Chinaman.
Oh, yeah.
He's eating rice with 2 sticks. How queer.
Yeah.
His backwards culture permeates his childlike face.
The mysterious figure from the Far East.
Far East.
I guess the internet did kind of evolve to become
foot
like...
binding really was like, that era is like rotten.com.
Yeah, it was body mod stuff. Yeah. Because
I have tattooed wood.
Yeah, because I always thought about body mod stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I've seen posters of that, like that.
Yeah, and they weren't even vegan.
No, no, and they weren't like the Enigma. Remember that guy?
Yeah,
the Enigma. He had his whole body covered in puzzle piece tattoos.
He was raising awareness for autism.
Autism speaks, sometimes a little too loud, is what I'm saying. But he parlayed that into a fucking guest spot on the X-Files, so I guess it worked for him. Jim Rose did the circus there, and the natural extension went from like Jim Rose and then the internet. And then now we just get to see freaks all day, every day.
Sometimes I look in the mirror.
Hey!
Oh!
Look out!
See the amazing man. What was the amazing vagina? Is it pee? We'll never know.
That's the
Watch
science.
it knock a cup off your face.
Well, after that, that guy's definitely going to need a breath mint. I know that I will.
It's time for your mom's favorite part of the show. It's time for the breath mint.
What you been up to this week, Brian? Anything catch your attention, catch your eye?
To go to Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
It's the great little rock and roll show, Mr. Jeff Rosenstock, Gladdy, and Sydney Gish. Sydney Gish is like the final boss of adult theater kids.
Okay.
She does like guitar looping and like samples off of like a Boss like RC500 sample recorder dealie and plays guitar, and like all of her songs are like really funny but dry, at least the stuff that she played. She had this really insane sticker on her road case for her pedal board that referenced like a Scholastic character and said that they were like my demon shade or they were like my night goblin or something.
Okay.
And I was like, and like other people were picking up like, that is the weirdest fucking, like other people in the crowd were like, that is such a fucking unsettling sticker. This like obscure like Scholastic character. She was great. I have to shout out to a fellow Ginger. She was not the opener, Glady was.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like interesting because I had never been to this venue before. It was my first time covering a show in Louisville.
What was the venue?
Headliners.
Okay.
Which is considered actually apparently to be one of the best venues of its size in the entire country.
Interesting.
700 cap.
Okay.
It's just a big ass fucking room with like a little balcony stage left. If it was a sold out show, they weren't overselling it. You know what I mean? Like they turned it away. If they were turning people away, it was at a good capacity. They weren't being greedy, trying to get another 50 people in. Really, the sound was good. Fucking fantastic light. I got to shoot the whole set, which is not what would have happened in St. Louis.
Yeah, for sure.
And, I want to like pat myself on the back and say I got really great fucking photos, but anyone that can have light that doesn't suck and get to shoot the whole set's going to walk away with something good. So I can't be like, oh, I'm such a great fucking photographer because I had a whole lot of opportunities to make great photos. I didn't have 3 songs of shit light and try to squeeze 5 great shots out of that.
Now, the one you sent me, I was saying was an all-timer, but then you said, oh, it's not up yet. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not going to post this then. But, boy, it's a damn good cover photo, the one you sent me.
Yeah, I posted, because right now, as we're recording this, Jeff Rosenstock, they just sold out the fucking Salt Shed in Chicago.
Sick.
Which is like the venue that everyone wants to fucking sell out.
Yeah,
it's like the room everyone wants to play right now, apparently. Probably the biggest show Jeff Rosenstock's ever played. They're selling it out. Like, it's fucking crazy. So I was like, you know what? My write-up isn't anywhere to be close to being done because I've, like I said earlier, I've had like 5 hours of myself since I've gotten back from Louisville.
Right.
I've had maybe 2 of those hours to write. The rest of it is just like resting or doing other shit. But I'm like, well, maybe I should post like a bigger thing on Instagram because of this, and posted like my favorite photos. I think it has 2 likes.
Nah.
The thing where like I'm kind of like thinking I'm not probably going to be doing the music photography thing much longer is because I can't keep up. Like I'm not in my 20s. I've got so much else going on than trying to impress people on the internet or be noticed on the internet.
Yeah.
I have at least 10 years ago, I mean, when you could attest this, like 10 years ago, everything I fucking did was in service to photography.
Sure.
Everything. But now I have like a job that has absolutely nothing to do with my interests or my desires or anything that's me. Like, I am about as completely alienated from my job. The only way it could probably happen more is if I like were doing it on another planet.
Right.
You know, if gravity was different. At least 10 years ago, I was like working jobs with people that had different, you know, I fucking work with people that say things. You hear what they're teaching kids in school books in Texas? And I'm like, yeah, a bunch of bullshit. But I don't think it's the same thing we're talking about here. I work with people that say right-wing shit that 10 years ago would have gotten you put in a fucking sanitarium. They would have hauled you away to the funny farm.
Yeah.
And now that's actually, that's a center-right opinion now.
Yeah. That's a whole other,
But so I'm just saying, like, I'm not in it like I was. I don't know if I want to be in it, but it really sucks to go and photograph this absolutely fucking amazing show, walk away with really great photos, and then realize no one cares.
Right.
Anyways, I had this really great time.
Did you get your hot brown at least?
I got my hot brown.
Well,
it was okay.
Oh,
well, the thing was, we couldn't go to the hotel because they have fucking wackadoo hours now.
Yeah,
and it wasn't gonna work.
Yeah.
And we went someplace in a strip mall, and like obviously, this is where the white flight went. I will say this: I was not impressed with it while we were eating it. But after the show, and it was in the fridge, the mini fridge at the hotel, it was a nice little midnight snack.
Hey, all right.
With my bare hands. And also, like, my girlfriend got a tater tots appetizer, and I'm used to like an $11 appetizer being like, oh, this is like 2 ounces of food.
Right.
This was like an old fucking meal of tater tots. And then like the people that work there are like, oh yeah, we're out of tater tots now. And we're just both like, I fucking wonder why.
Yeah.
It looked like you empty the whole entire
Put them
package
all
of
on her plate.
tater tots, put some fucking pulled brisket on it, and like,
yeah.
But like the people that worked there were kind of weird. They weren't like paying attention to their tables, and one of the waitresses just goes, "I think that guy just walked out on his bill." And it's like, I probably would too, because like it was like took forever to get our check, and there's not. It's one of those things where it takes forever to get the check, but there's only like 2 other tables seated.
Oh, jeez.
Well, but there's 18 people working, and they're all like, "Hey, do you have a charger cable?"
Oh God! Oh God!
They're all at. Oh geez, it was such a fucking thing. But anyways, but get back to the show.
Yeah,
Sydney Gish was great. Like really fucking weird, but I enjoyed it. Gladie, Gladie. I think if you are not hip to them, that's like a really high contender of like if you were to probably see Jeff Rosenstock on this tour and we're familiar with Gladie or Glady or where the fuck they're called. Like, oh, this is like my new favorite band.
Interesting. Okay.
They desperately need to come out with a new record because their most recent record, you do not, I think it's called You Don't Know What You're In Until You're Out of It. Every song on there is like a banger, and if it's not a banger, it has something interesting going on. Really fucking good. Fucking love them. I love the record. Hit the Ground Running. Soda is, there's a couple lyrics on there that are really, really fucking hit you in the feels. During their set, this young girl like just pushed her way up to the front, which was like, good for you. She had fucking braces. She had X's on her arm, on her hands, and I'm like, look at you. And also started to feel really old because she was wearing baggy khaki pants, like a black tank top, and then her hair up in a way that I can't really describe. I was like, oh, this is what all like the coolest shit like alt goth girlies wore their hair when I was your age. 20-something years ago. It was like one of those things like, time is a flat circle. The young lady in the band who... So Augusta, at the end of the set, this teenage girl next to me asked for her guitar pick, and Augusta just gives this look like, huh, what? Like no one's ever asked her that before. She asked for the guitar pick, she got it, and she just like was like, oh, this is like a really cute moment here. And the girl like looks at the guitar pick and it was like fucking beaming. I'm like, oh shit, yeah. I remember when the dudes from Megadeth gave me his guitar pick, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And then like afterwards I'm like, but it was the dude from Megadeth. It was not Dave Mustaine. It was like it was Marty.
But still, it's an artifact.
Cool for, like,
you were
my
there.
First or second concert was American Theater, and this American Theater was probably a very underrated venue in the history of St. Louis venues. Had tickets to see Beck there in 2000, but then it snowed.
Oh, but the girl with the guitar pick.
So I was like, oh, that's a really cool little moment. The crowd was really cool. People were having interesting conversations. And like a thing I will say about St. Louis crowds or people in St. Louis in the music scene is that they always seem like they're afraid that someone from like New York or LA is going to walk in and be like, oh, this is what you guys think's cool?
Ugh.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about, and
everyone's like afraid to be themselves because like someone from like someone from the cool kids table will look over and be like, "That's gay."
It's such a shitty way to live.
It is, but that's why like I go like seeing shows in Memphis and like I guess now places like Louisville.
Yeah,
because like these kids didn't give a fuck, man. They were going off. They were doing their own thing. Like, and another thing like I contrast with St. Louis too is like listening to two like college age guys talk about sports, and like this is an annoying conversation to have to overhear because they're not St. Louis people where it's like, you know, the Cardinals did this and like, you know, blah blah blah, fucking Kroenke, the fucking Rams, you know, like because we're so up our own asses.
Yeah,
and this guy's just talking about like fucking Division II fucking college football with his buddy, and like, this is like a normal conversation that two people that aren't having like 2 generations worth of like hereditary anger imparting how they feel about baseball.
Yeah.
But Glady, fucking amazing. Go listen to their record. But I was going through some of my photos after the show, and I was on the balcony and I was taking photos of people crowd surfing. I was only up there for like a couple minutes because I didn't want to crowd the people up there because there's like seating up there. So I just wanted to get in there, get some shots, and get out. And some crowd surfers, and I didn't realize until I was like editing the photos. I was like, I was like looking to make sure the photo was like sharp. And I'm like, oh shit, one of the people crowd surfing is that girl. And she's wearing a Glady shirt of fucking, there was like a white ringer tee with like the black contrast on the ringer. And I'm like, oh, so now you look like even more like an early like 2000s alt chick. Like, good job. Yeah. Good job.
Nailed it.
All you're missing is like some jelly rings on, or like a fucking one of those giant ball necklaces.
Oh God. Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ. This is a fucking trip. She was having a great fucking time. Yeah, it was like so much fucking fun. Jeff Rosenstock is a fucking treat. And I was like thinking about how the first time I photographed him, it was like the farewell tour for Bomb the Music Industry.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And like Bert was like, "Oh, you should come down. If you've not photographed them, you need to come down and photograph them." So I did. Had a fucking blast. They were fucking spray painting shirts in the parking lot. That was like because that was his whole thing. Like bring a shirt and like pay me like $10 and I will make you a Bomb the Music. And he had stencils and shit like what design you want and. Not that he didn't make normal screen press shirts, but that was part of the experience.
Right. It was a whole thing. Yeah.
The go from like, 2012, your farewell tour, you're playing to like 200 kids. They're going off, but it's only 200 kids. To like now you've written like the best record of 2023. Just like played this fucking huge set, like really spanned, I think pretty much everything he's released as, Jeff Rosenstock, Death Rosenstock, all that, the whole thing. And I kind of just really felt like he was like wearing like cut off jeans, like a shirt that he took in the sleeves on with like the old, like the British, like, bullseye.
Okay.
I think that's what it is, like from like the bombers or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a proper name for it. I just remember it being on like the planes of World War II fighter pilot.
All I can think of is the Who album Quadrophenia, but I'm not sure that's right.
Basically. But I was like, oh, he looks like a community college fucking ceramics teacher who does not give a fuck.
Yeah.
He drives like a fucking Pacer. Yeah. He looks at the fucking sociology teachers that drive like a fucking brand new Corvette and think pussy.
Yeah, right.
Like this is a guy that like did a fucking kitchen table operation on his friend because his friend was too broke to have insurance. But they knew a guy that could get us penicillin, so it was going to work out. Like one of those kind of dudes.
Yeah.
I kind of had this feeling, and I kind of spoke with you about this.
Yeah.
Just kind of felt like, oh, I'm seeing like the last American artist.
Yeah.
And you wanted to say, I think you were a little bit more generous. Like, oh, this is like the last, maybe one of the last guys. I'm like, no, this is like the last like white rhino. I'm not saying there aren't going to be artists or like pure capital A artists.
Yeah.
But I feel like this sort of like post World War II like working class artist, a guy that has like a straight job that is not completely alienated from his passions.
Yeah.
like he's not having to like work at like a coffee shop. Like he's doing soundtracks for TV shows. There's like an ecosystem around him because all of like the people he thinks are cool end up being a part of his art in some way or part of like his projects and so on. It kind of seems to be like these things that rotate and feed on each other in these feedback loops. And I just kind of feel like capitalism isn't going to allow that anymore because of AI, because of Spotify, because of venture capitalists, like all that stuff. I think the cutoff for that was probably about 10 years ago. He's part of the last couple that got through.
Yeah, this is it. Like this is
like
pretty
you're
much
never going to see a guy like this.
Probably not. No. And it is
it's
a
like
dying
it's like
breed.
the old retired Navy guy I worked with at a job that would tell me about when he was stationed in Japan, Okinawa, that there was a prostitute that would light two sparklers and you would hold them while she would suck you off, and while she was sucking you off, she would hum the national anthem. You know? Like, we're just not getting that guy anymore.
It's the craftsmanship.
It's the craft. You're not going to work. The thing is, like, and that guy had stories about like how he accidentally like started like a riot in Puerto Rico because he flirted with the wrong girl on shore leave, and like he's like, yeah, my buddy got stabbed. Like I was like, what happened? He's like, I got thrown in the brig, and they left me in there because when they said they were going to leave me out. And they asked me if I was ready to apologize. I said, "Are you guys ready to apologize?" I had to waste my night on leave.
Oh, Jesus!
You know, like that
kind of guy.
We're not getting that guy anymore. Like
no,
that guy, like
they broke the mold.
We're never gonna see another guy that has this sort of trajectory. That's an artist in this sort of way.
And you probably are right. That's the sad part. Is that yeah you're probably right.
Not to mention my brother, but like my brother has said that like, yeah, it's so weird that to meet creative people that 10 years ago would have fucking had all these great opportunities, and now they're like, you know, working at fucking Kinko's.
You're too late, man. Because I'm trying to think like what other contemporaries he has, and I'm coming up short. You know what I mean?
Like in that style,
yeah.
Of like this is a dude that's like, I don't think he's faking the funk.
Clearly not.
I mean, I'd be like, this is like a fucking like Bukowski kind of.
He's a real ass dude.
Like this is a real ass fucking guy. This is like Hunter S. Thompson in a way.
Yeah.
I mean,
sure.
we're fucking talking about Louisville. Why not? I legitimately feel this is the last guy capitalism said we can let have this trajectory, because now everything is going to be fucking clickbait and written for algorithms. Here's the last guy that gets to make his art seemingly unapologetically, to be appreciated, to be sung in rooms and not listened to on fucking earbuds, and to put a bow on my weekend of seeing live music. I did get to see Armand Hammer off Broadway.
Yes, I was interested to hear about this as well, because I know I'm not as familiar with, so I'm very curious.
It was their last day of tour.
Oh, wow.
And it's market they never played for, and it was a weird looking crowd because all indie hip hop crowds are either like fucking what you would have called herbs 20 years ago, or like future frat boys of America. I've gone to Danny Brown shows in St. Louis where like people from his crew were like scared because like we don't see white people at Danny Brown shows like this.
Oh wow, okay.
They're like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, there's white boys wearing khaki shorts and sandals with polo shirts. These guys look like they came from the country club. I'm like, oh no, this is like every kid. This is like every rich kid that goes to like all of the expensive Catholic private schools. And they're like, oh.
I speak from experience on that one.
And it's like weird because I knew people that had like opened up for Danny Brown in other cities. They're from St. Louis, but had to be like, they did a couple dates opening up for him and been like, yeah, St. Louis is the only crowd that looks like this. Everything else looks like a what you expect like a hip hop crowd to look like in a city, but in St. Louis it all looks like, you know, it looks like fucking Brooks Brothers fucking commercial. Anyways, I could tell these dudes were fucking tired. They weren't necessarily being disrespectful or anything, but you could just tell like they were just like done.
They're gassed.
They didn't have any merch. They were super nice to the crowd. They were very nice to the people in the venue. They had lots of nice things to say. There was just like a lot of fucking shit that happened like on the way from Louisville, back home from Louisville, after stopping in Mount Vernon, the cultural mecca, and just hearing like a lady at this weird Mexican restaurant talk about how much of who it was that she used like soot from the fireplace or something to do blackface and go to like a Halloween party like that. And just openly, loudly talking about this in a Mexican restaurant. And then as we're about to leave, like some white guy, an old white motherfucker, some cracker-ass cracker. Like if you saw him, you're like, oh, that's a cracker.
Yeah.
Jaw is recessed into his upper palate. The trucker hat is for a business that hasn't been around since 82. You know, like just a hard R motherfucker.
A certain type of dude, yes.
Yeah. Like fucking just going off at all of the dudes at the Mexican restaurant and like pointing at one guy who's Hispanic. And it was one of those Mexican restaurants where you tell everyone who's worked there is like their cousins.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're like, everyone's got like the same like cheeks. You know, like these dudes started surrounding the guy. And I was like, oh, I want to see a white dude get wailed on by a bunch of Mexican dudes with perfect haircuts.
Yeah. Just
not hair out of place. I think he realized he was getting surrounded by dudes that look like they came from a farm background.
They're going to beat his ass.
Oh, and I would have been there for it.
Yeah, sure.
But then, like, my girlfriend started feeling bad.
She wasn't feeling well.
She wasn't feeling well, and that kind of, like, I ended up showing up right before the opener, Lorraine, went on, and she was cool, but one of those things where, like, people in St. Louis ain't ready for it.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of thing. So like it's just like a bunch of dudes in like fucking Travis Scott shirts. You know, like literally guys like
I can picture it in my mind. Yes, I have.
At one point in time, Bert had an opportunity to book Odd Future at the Firebird.
Yeah. And
a vote went around to everyone, and I was the deciding vote of whether or not they would get booked, and I said no because it's going to be a security nightmare. For whatever fucking bragging rights it is, it's going to be like, you're going to have to call a fucking ambulance at some point.
Okay.
And I think that was the right call.
Yeah.
Because when Odd Future played the pageant and like sold it out like a year later, or even might even been the same year, I was hearing stories where people like worked at Pie Pizza across the street. There was this like fucking white kids with like Jew fros, like screaming faggot at the cars that were driving by and like jumping on park. Like it was like one of those things, like it was like basically like White Boys Gone Wild.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like if those dudes had grown up and gotten really into ketamine.
Oh boy.
That's what part of the crowd was. It was just a weird, because the alternative thought in my mind, because they were in Kansas City the night before, was go to Kansas City, see Arm & Hammer, see Jeff Rosenstock in St. Louis.
Sure.
But I don't know what a KC hip hop crowd is like. Apparently it was a good show there, but St. Louis hip hop crowds are fucking weird. They are some of the crowds that maybe, man, fuck this. I would love to see them again, not in St. Louis.
That makes sense.
I mean, that's a lot of bands I've seen.
Yeah.
I would love to,
get the experience somewhere else.
Yeah, because like at least I didn't have to apologize to them.
Well, yeah,
I've had to apologize to some. I've had like apologize like Del the Funk Homo Sapien. Like I'm really sorry that no one showed up here. Like,
oh.
I mean, that is. I'm amazed Bert fucking booked it, because him out of all people knows the easiest way to piss away money, just lie on fire, is to book an indie hip hop show here. It was cool. Okay.
That sound says it all. I get.
So you're getting another classic St. Louis thing is like seeing a musician you really like, and their first time playing St. Louis is on the record you hate. So like it's like, oh cool, Smoking Post, but they're playing but they're touring behind like the record that's going to break up the band because it's so dog shit.
Ah, yes. That was them opening for Third Eye Blind. That was the show I saw. At the American Theater.
The American Theater. I hate this. I really just don't like the new Arm & Hammer. I don't like the new Billy Woods all that much, even though they're both like the two highest rated hip hop records.
Yeah. Like
on Metacritic of last. I think they are like 1 and 2 of last year.
They probably were. Yeah.
It's just not my favorite. I hope the next stuff's a little less antagonistic and too collagey sounding, the new Arm & Hammer. Like the mix is weird to my ears. There's a couple songs on there that fucking rule. I asked Siri when I was gonna die. I mean, there's a couple tracks on there that are fucking tight, and those are the ones that perform. There's a couple where I was like, oh man, not this song.
No.
That is the worst thing. You're like, oh, I've been waiting to see this band live, for these musicians live for so many years. It's so fucking cool. And then it's just like, oh man, they're playing that song.
Yeah.
And you're like one of those things where like, I don't even have to piss. And you're like, you're just mad.
Right.
You're just mad.
I could But I'm just going to sit in the bathroom for 5 minutes and be on my phone. What the hell?
I'm just going to stand. I'm not even sitting on the toilet. I'm just
No.
standing in the stall.
Yeah.
Door.
Holding the door closed. Because, you know, some of those venue bathrooms don't lock.
All right, man. What's going on with you? I've gone.
No, it's all good. I finally caught up to you and caught Dune Part 2.
Yeah.
I was blown away.
Yeah.
Loved it more than I liked Part 1.
Oh, it's a way better movie than Part 1.
Part 2 obviously is the better part of the book anyway, because that's where shit happens, as opposed to a thing is going to happen.
Yeah.
You have a vision of the thing happening? Yes, that is going to happen. Great. And yes, Walken as the Emperor, fantastic.
Wow,
Love to see it.
I can't believe the Harkonians are going to do this. Wow.
Wow.
The Harkonians are saying they can't handle their shit.
Yeah. I loved Austin Butler, which was a surprise to me.
Scary.
Anything that was shot on Gade Prime was really cool because it had this like, it was black and
infrared.
white. It was infrared. Yeah, it was just really freaky fucking visuals. The black sun, like they really took some stuff that was only kind of hinted at in the novel and really blew it up. I really love to see the Elder Skarsgård as the Baron Harkonnen.
Yeah.
Loved Leia Sadu, but I'm kind of like, she's not really in that very much. Hopefully Messiah of Dune is going to rectify that. Florence Poe, of course. Can't complain anytime she's in one of these movies. I really appreciated that they gave Zendaya's Chani much more to do, because it's exactly.
But it's just a shame that they gave her a lot to do and Zendaya didn't seem to know how to act. There's a couple moments where it works, but the rest of the time it just feels like I can't wait to get out of Africa.
Even Rebecca Ferguson was kind of sidelined for this. There's some moments that Lady Jessica kind of shines, but not nearly as many as in Part 1. I think has to do with shortening some of the stuff from the second half of the novel to kind of force it into a second part of a film. I was never really ever sold in the first movie with Timothée Chalamet as Paul, but in the second one, okay, I get it now.
It works.
Yeah, Javier Bardem as Stilgar really sells it. Fucking
How
hilarious.
much have you ever lost on Worm?
Exactly. And he also just sells it. Like he's playing this kind of wild-eyed fanatic, but he's also
Muad'Dib.
Like, as is written, you know, he's kind of riling people up. And there's even that Life of Brian moment where Paul says, you know, I don't want to be a leader. And he says, he doesn't want it? That means he is the leader. It's like, no, did you learn nothing? But it's really great. I always love these grand vistas that Villeneuve
really,
is able to accomplish.
The shit that would have been a matte painting,
yes,
30 years ago.
Yes, and boy, the ship designs, and I still love the ornithopters being dragonflies, and I love can visually tell immediately who the factions are. Even in silhouette, you have there's a lot of neat stuff just visually. Boy, even the intrusive, really loud music cues felt less as much this time around. I feel like they kind of pulled back from the excess of the first movie with these. Like, okay, all right. Okay, now the throat singing shit, I love that. I love those guys. I love the.
And it's like this. And it's just someone going, "It's daylight."
Yeah.
There's really this huge shit, this beautiful vista, and someone's just like, who ate all the pussy? Muad'Dib, did you eat all the pussy?
Well, okay.
What I'm just trying to think. The Dune XXX parody is like they save the pussy sweat.
Yes. The water of life. Yes, I did like the water of life sequences are really cool. They work better here than if you've seen any of the TV adaptations. I think they really work better here. There's a lot of stuff where David Lynch's Dune took a shortcut and made the child a character. Now they have this like really interesting audio-visual component where the Lady Jessica's child is still in the womb, but is still like psychically communicating. That was neat. I like all the... Suddenly there's a cache of nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Just note for note from the book. Like there's really... They did painstaking adaptation stuff. Boy, what a hoot. What a time. Just like the first one, just like I didn't really feel like it dragged at all.
It moved really well.
I was really excited. I'm really glad that Gurney came back because I always liked that character both in the books and even the David Lynch Dune where he had Patrick Stewart as Gurney. I think I think the way they did Gurney here was...
Oh, now you found your taste for it.
Yeah, so I think the way they did Gurney was better.
I do feel like they wasted Batista.
That character is pretty much
That's
on the
it?
page. That
sucks.
Pretty much it. Yeah,
sucks. This is a guy like I want to crush a bug. Like literally the guy that, like I want to crush a bug.
Yeah,
can I crush a bug, Dad?
He does kind of have that arc in the
kid,
book,
like the neighborhood kid that like would like find like a garter snake. And you're like, cool. And he's like, no, I'm going to make it cooler. And then he just like puts it in a can.
Whips it around.
No, puts it in a can.
Yeah.
Shoots it with a BB gun while it's in the can. Then lights it on fire. And like, now it's cool. Like, just like real future serial killer kid shit.
Yeah.
It's amazing he wasn't calling people fats.
God damn it. That's probably for the director's cut. Anyway.
What do you mean you're giving it to this fat?
I gotta get them spice f***s. Anyway. I'm tugging at my collar. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah. So the other thing that I watched this week, I'm still in the midst of season 2, but it was Greg Daniels, one of the guys who came up with the American version of The Office. He's hit or miss with his shows, and one of the shows that was definitely not a hit was on TBS for 2 seasons. It was called People of Earth, and it is a show about a group of people who have been alien abductees, and in the small town of Beacon, New York. Also, the aliens are real, and they have abducted these people in the past, and so it's this odd... Half of it's a workplace sitcom between all the aliens that are working together to do experiments on humans, and then the humans who are part of a support group for alien abductees. They call themselves experiencers in the show, which is the dumbest thing I can think of, but a pretty game cast. A guy from The Daily Show. There was some Anna Gasteyer, who was the mom in Mean Girls.
Okay.
Katie's mom, not the cool mom. That's Amy Poehler, but this guy, I can't remember the actor's name, but he did the college humor web series If Google Was a Real Person. Oscar Nunez from The Office makes an appearance. So does the guy who played Toby from The Office. This says something about the quality of the show. I didn't know it existed until a couple months ago when my brother-in-law asked me, do you have both seasons of that show? I said, what is this? What is the show you're talking about? He goes, oh, no, it was on TBS for like 2 years. I'm like, I know nothing of this. So it clearly was not a hit. It lasted a while, and I can kind of see why it wasn't a hit, because it's just okay. It's a great idea. It just doesn't do anything interesting with it. Everyone in it's a great performer. It's weird. It just feels flat. And I've tried to watch like the last half of that second season because I'm very amped to see The 3-Body Problem. I'm very excited to see an adaptation of a sci-fi book that I like. But I keep falling asleep. So that tells you all you need to know. The only thing I can really think to compare it to is the infinitely better Resident Alien. It's got Alan Tudyk from fucking everything. He was in Firefly. He did the voice for Wreck-It. He was in Wreck-It Ralph. He's the bad guy in that. He was in fucking Dodgeball as Steve the Pirate. So
that's right.
He's this alien who takes over the body of a local doctor in a small town. I'm like, okay, it's an alien invasion meets Northern Exposure. We have a thing here. That show is worlds better than this People of Earth thing. I feel like I'm shitting on the show, and I kind of am. It's got its moments, but they're few and far between. Maybe Greg Daniels was not the key ingredient to those shows, I guess is what I'm saying. Sorry, Greg.
Yeah, try better next time.
You gotta get them rider up there.
You gotta
Anyway.
get them- Oh, you're gonna have quiet time believing all that.
I have a long road ahead of me. Yes.
So before we wrap it up, did watch the first episode of Fallout.
Okay.
When I got home from work before we came out.
Okay. Yeah.
Before I came out over here. So far, so good.
Okay.
I didn't think it was going to be good. I thought it was going to be awful because it's lit like a fucking heartburn medicine commercial.
Yeah.
Which is a major problem, but that's what happens when you film 75% of your shit in the volume. Everything looks fake and weird like The Mandalorian. The volume and shooting in 4K like they did with the fucking lighting that they chose made everything like, oh, that's cardboard. Oh, that's like a McDonald's bag.
And not in the charming Doctor Who way, no.
So far, I'm still like kind of amazed, like, this is kind of interesting. And like they have people that vaguely resemble characters from games. And like, then I realized like, oh, this was always going to be good because this is a West Coast story.
True.
And all of the terrible shit that I hate about Fallout is East Coast. Like this is a little bit more Fallout 2 New Vegas kind of storytelling.
Okay. Because you're talking like 3 and 4.
4 is a fucking mess.
Now, apparently, in the timeline, the show happens after the events of 4. If I'm remembering the timeline right. I love they got Kyle MacLachlan. I love they got Walton Goggins. Walton Goggins. Goggin crew, rise up.
Goggin girlies.
Goggin girlies. I'm a Goggin maxed Walton pilled.
Femcell.
Yeah.
I'm vault pilled on this.
I'm Fallout maxing. So yeah, we're feeling it. We're feeling like
just
maybe,
on one episode. The weakest thing is so far as the character Maximus, who is Brotherhood of Steel character that because you have the Ghoul, which is Walter Goggins.
Yep.
And you have the Vault Dweller, whose name Ruby. No, I can't remember her name off the top of my head. It's been a fucking life. And then you have Maximus, who is the Brotherhood of Steel character.
Okay.
So far, the Brotherhood of Steel character one feels most shaky because I think the Brotherhood of Steel is, depending on which characters in the Brotherhood of Steel you're trying to have a narrative go through, they can be either the most interesting or the most boring faction in any Fallout game.
Well, yeah, because what's her name from New Vegas? Veronica.
Kind of just steals the show.
Yeah. Boy, say what you will about Felicia Day, but voice acting is a skill she's got.
Oh, she's great. What a great side character. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So far, like with Walter's character and the Vault Dweller stuff, the stuff with the Vault is really fun. And they take some creative liberties with some of the Vault stuff that I actually like.
Like, for example?
So the Vaults are connected. The Vault that the story starts out in is Vault 33. Your main character, Vault Dweller, she's like, I can't find like a mate here, and I'm tired of doing cousin stuff.
Uh-oh.
So I am opening myself up for a marriage exchange with Vault 34.
Okay.
And that's how I guess so they have tunnels that connect them.
Okay.
And so they do like, here we will give you some grain and some machine parts, and you will give us genetic diversity.
For your women. Yeah.
And we are giving you a breeder.
Wow.
And there's some really great like the cousin stuff.
Yeah, just the phrase cousin stuff.
and she's asking like her new husband, like, what's his sperm count and all that. And
oh man. Oh boy.
It's surprisingly well done. Like, I read some stuff where some of the people who are working on the show, like, yeah, we weren't trying to please fans of the game at all because we felt that'd be an impossible task. But seemingly in doing that, just off of one episode, it's like, well, you got like the tone right.
And I think that's really what's most important. You might not hit all the major points, or you might not like get everything 100% right, but getting it in a location that hasn't been shown in a game before is nice. And having it after all the games you played is also kind of okay. You kind of created a kind of a safety buffer. And then, it's Jonathan Nolan, right? I mean, I've mentioned him before in referencing stuff like Westworld and Person of Interest. Like, he understands sci-fi and this kind of vibe that you want. And so, boy, Walton Goggins is a fucking hoot.
Go outside, nerd.
So I'm very excited. I'm very hyped.
I'm like your father. I'm like your real father. No, you're not. Not anything like that to us.
No.
So it's promising. Off of
That's
one
good.
episode,
like
it's promising. You can binge it. All think 10 episodes are up. So there you go.
I'm gonna do that tonight.
Stroking your shit.
Oh yeah, I got lotion. Oh yeah, I'm jorking my peanuts.
I'm working my shit. I'm stroking my shit. I'm putting in Chronicles of Riddick.
Oh, absolutely.
And doing the motions along with
open palm slamming.
Let's get this shit over with, bro. let's get them podcast facts off.
Well, that about does it for the show. We're going to tell you where to find us online. Brian, why don't you kick us off tonight?
Oh, Jesus Christ. You want to call me a
God damn it. Go on.
Anyways, if you want to call me a you can find me on most social media platforms, either as iShotGuideboard, ISHOTGUIDBORD, or a music photographer. Sometimes both, if you want to feel spicy. Get the by follow sexual. If you want to check out my music portfolio, my photography portfolio, it's not just music. It's also photos of people getting maced by cops because cops are terrible. And photos of buses or some shit. I don't know what else is on there. I haven't looked at my portfolio in a while. That's asshole. Musicphotographer.com. If you want to check out some photos with words. I don't know, folks. Let's have a bet. Do you think I'm going to have the Matty Diaz piece up? It's been a month, folks. Do you think it's going to happen? You think it's going to fucking happen? I just don't think that agent's ever going to reach out to me.
I have a feeling something's telling me.
You know, just my life is like, oh yeah, I have availability. Then like, oh, then everything just goes to shit, and I have no free time. Anyways.
If they want to find out.
If they want to find out if the Matty Diaz piece is going to be up by the time you listen to this, it's a music photographer, musicphotographer.com. If you want to check out the Jeff Rosenstock piece, it will hopefully be up by the time this is released.
Crossing my fingers.
Cross my fucking fingers. I got all the photos edited. I just got to sit down. It's just fucking time, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be up by the time this comes up. But that's going to be over at theartsstl.com. That's the last and only good media website left in St. Louis. God, I ain't got anything else. Jason, take it away.
Yes, sir. You can find me online, Video Crime, VIDEOCRIME. Chances are, if there's a social media website that has the ability to add your own username, well, that's going to be me, with the notable exceptions of Instagram and TikTok. There, I am Laser Goose CEO. That's laser with an S. If you want to shoot us an email, well, you can do that very thing. Jason at 48minutesofdogsbarking.com. Brian with a Y at 48minutesdogsbarking.com. Give us a call. Leave us a voicemail. Send us a text. Whatever you like to do. That's 314-246-9766. That's 314-AHOY POO, if you like to spell with your telephone. And you can also support the show, patreon.com/48minutesofdogs. We do have our sub show, Thanks I Hate It. Brand new episode is out now. We also have, if we get 10 people at the $10 level, we'll watch a 90-minute puke fetish video and talk about it just for you.
For someone as unlikable as myself, you think people would be throwing
You would
their
think. You would think. You'd think they'd be, let's make him suffer. We'll make us suffer for your amusement. Patreon.com/48minutesdogs. That about does it for the program. As we always say at this time, namaste, good luck. Eat the knife, give mommy a good gut fucking,
and free Palestine!
Amen.
You f***its!